For a long time now, Trisha has spoken out about the many failed relationships that she has had, and while speaking about those relationships she makes it a point to discuss how harmful they were to her both mentally and physically. What she doesn't ever do though, is speak about how harmful she has been both mentally and physically to past partners. And if she's ever forced to, she always makes some kind of excuse about how her BPD made her physically hit someone or how drugs made her do this or that. Never taking accountability or expressing remorse for the harm that she has caused. She seems to get away with this quite frequently by convincing those listening and watching that all of these harmful acts coming from her were isolated incidents that were never once repeated. We figured we'd take a little deep dive into some of her past relationships to showcase that that actually isn't the case, and that her behavior has been going on for years and continues to go on to this day. In this video we'll be showing you moments throughout her different relationships where she was toxic and harmful, and you'll notice a repeated pattern that's difficult to ignore. First we'll start with a moment between her and Jason Nash, where he says something that she doesn't like and she proceeds to hit him for it.
Well, maybe we could Uber back.
I thought you're into fitness. Oh, sorry. Someone did say that. I said I never abuse it to you, and someone literally
And while some have argued that her hitting him was playful, we've made a compilation before of every time she has done it to him, with each hit getting harder than the next. Sometimes done as open-handed slaps and other times with her full-on making a fist to hit him with. Throughout this compilation Jason expresses his discomfort, pain and fear with this action. While you're watching this compilation, ask yourself if you would still think it were playful if Jason were the one striking Trisha instead in the same manner. What you would think if it were Trisha that was flinching from the fear of being hit rather than Jason flinching from the fear of it.
and that was whack, although I really whacked Jason hard this morning on the chest. No.
What?
Ah!
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right. Put your hand over some hot tea. What? That's a joke. That's a joke. You weren't supposed to get mad at me. You're so skinny.
Stupid. What you want to hear?
I'm sorry. We were happy?
You dumb. Wait, 3 huge ass chocolates. He's never hungry when I'm hungry. You eat all that. Oh, Jason hates that. I went like this yesterday, and Jason's like, don't. Ow! No, you're like, don't hit me. I literally went like that. This whole first account is just to tweet you how I am to you. Like every day they just say how bad I am for you.
I'm gonna start following this person and retweeting them. You do need therapy, she's right about that. Ow! My paintball shot! On a run. And you know what?
No, you're not. Even
as I'm going on that run, you can't stop me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes, I can. Hey, this is the jokes you make that people are gonna be like, oh. I didn't even say that, you dumbass! Ow! Ow! You're You lied! You didn't.
She doesn't mean anything to me.
I'm
dating one.
You know. I hate when I hit him.
I don't know what you do.
Babe, I would live with you in a studio apartment with a fucking tin boy.
I hit you for real, so it's like real reaction.
Yeah. No, but I hit me in the head.
Jesus. Let me, should I slap you? I slapped you on Jasper's. Do you want me to slap you?
Yeah.
Is it better this way?
Harder. That one hurt.
You guys.
You said I'm good? Are you fucking kidding?
You show a little respect for Jesus.
I thought you're into fitness.
If Trisha was male and Jason was female, this kind of behavior would never fly. Now we're going to show you a moment where Trisha speaks about her relationship with Sean van der Wilt. While discussing the relationship with her viewers, she admits that her and Sean had a toxic relationship that resulted in many breakups.
So, obviously, guess we had broken up a couple times. You know, we're a complicated duo, apparently. But Or obviously, I should say. At this point, when you go through as much shit as we have, we're just like, whatever, like literally whatever, like it doesn't even matter.
And what exactly was she referring to when she talked about how toxic they were, and how they had been through a lot? This clip might give you a little insight, because in it Trisha admits to insulting Sean and treating him poorly in the relationship.
You're so dumb. You do say that one a lot.
I'm always like, you're so dumb, you're so dumb, but now I say you're so amazing.
Don't call people dumb, that's not
But
nice.
now I say you're so
Okay,
amazing.
but no, okay, but what you say is, well, you never did that with me. Well, I never got to do that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you never did this with me, or I never got to do that.
She's done way worse to Sean than just that, but let's veer away for a moment to discuss how this treatment doesn't just pertain to her boyfriends, but also extends to her friends and family.
Even though I'm the abusive one, he's like, right before we went in, he's like, you're so abusive. I'm like, but then I realized why I don't have a boyfriend. Did we talk about this earlier? I feel like I'm bipolar, and I need some more Xanax because I'm really mean, and I kind of understand why I have no friends and no boyfriends.
But let's get back to her more intimate relationships here. Because while her friend confronted her about her harmful behavior and she admitted to it, she seems to think that it's more quirky and cute than anything else. Which is indicated by the way that she frequently brags about how she treats those around her.
I'm gonna ruin like all these people's lives. It's not just one guy, it's like multiple guys.
How would you ruin some guy's life?
I don't know. I literally met someone like a couple months ago, and I was with him for like 10 days and like ruined his life, and he tells me that all the time, and I have
Why?
no idea.
How? What'd you do to him?
I think just a lot of maybe like psychological manipulation, maybe.
Oh.
That's what people keep calling me. Okay, I get it. I'm a little unstable, but I'm not like violent, so.
Not to mention the fact that she admitted to getting physical with at least 2 other exes, but we'll get to that later. She also has a habit of using her channel to expose those she becomes unhappy with, whether they deserve it or not.
He was a good friend too until I made a video. I'm crazy.
Even though she claimed on Frenemies that she never did this.
Because everything I'm controversial for is on myself. I say I'm transgender, DID. You are like you, and me, I'm like, oh, me, and everyone's like,
Oh, sure. You never talk shit about anybody in your whole
Who
career.
do I talk shit about?
How about the entire internet? James Charles, the Dixie family,
That's fun on here.
Gabby Hanna.
Because I'm with you.
You were talking shit about Tyler Oakley the last time.
I think it brings it out on this podcast because that's you.
Oh,
You're
please.
a shit talker, so I'm a shit talker with you. But in my personal life, I'm like, whatever.
It's interesting that Trisha has argued in the past that males don't get taken as seriously when harmed as females do, because that truth is the very thing that is protecting her, and that has continued to allow her to get away with this kind of behavior. And even she knows that that's wrong.
Being like, if this was a girl, like the sad thing, if this was a girl talking about SA, like, you know, everyone would be like, he'd be like in jail, like it's a crime, and like nobody cares, and they keep praising this person. So, and like people just like look past it because they're boys, I guess. I don't know.
People don't give a fuck when the victim's a man.
Specifically, right, exactly, yeah, with these guys.
I mean, if you in the midst of this whole Me Too thing, it's like, and the same thing goes for David. The victim is Seth. No, then there's no fucking accountability, because if the victim's a man, then nobody fucking cares. That's the pattern I'm seeing here.
Of course, yeah, it's really odd. It is a guy thing.
Excuse me.
Bless you. You keep saying it, but it does suck. I feel bad for guys.
She's right. Nobody takes males that are harmed seriously, which is why she will continue to get away with this. And not only is she getting away with physical and mental harm, she's also getting away with much more.
Other current events. Oh, for people asking like why I haven't said anything about like the sexual assault stories and stuff in Hollywood, I can't really put that on this channel. So I have my story of being a victim and being an assaulter on my Patreon, so I'll link that below.
Notice how she casually mentions being both someone that was assaulted and being an assaulter, as if the latter is no big deal. She admits to assaulting someone and the internet doesn't bat an eye. It's odd to us that people have been cancelled for less, yet she still somehow manages to keep getting away with it. Even the people that she exposes for doing things as simple as flaking out on dates with her, or not responding to her texts, receive more backlash for their crimes than she does for hers.
It was gnarly, and to be honest, did I think Jason was gonna ever talk to me again after that video? No, I thought in the past when I made videos about somebody, like they like completely went like rogue on me. They never talked to me again. They're like, okay, Trisha's crazy. Like we're not going down this path. Everybody I've ever made.
But again, like she said, it doesn't matter when it's happening to a guy.
once again, that sort of mentality where we always talk about it, where it's like if it's happening to guys, it's like not as serious as if it's happening to girls.
And what about those other guys that she physically harmed? Well, in this episode of Frenemies, she seemed to be bragging about the fact that her and her partner would harm each other. Bringing it up when discussing how badly she wanted to fight Ethan because she knew she could take him, because she was used to beating guys up.
Allegedly, if he's on roids, I don't know. But like I've wrestled a roided boyfriend. Technically, he was an abusive boyfriend, but I beat the shit out of him too. He would just punch me and I'd punch him, so.
But let's get back to her expose videos, which she seems to be very proud of. Because while she remains safe from being called out, none of her exes do.
Ooh, that's hard. How many breakups have I gone through online? Well, we had the first, Anthony Michael Hall, who I thought was the one. Does anyone even know him anymore? Irrelevant. He was the first person I exposed, but like I didn't say his name until later. I thought he was the one. I'm gonna answer your question. Then we had Roger Bart as a cheater on Halloween. Shane was with me when I found out, and Shane was like, don't do this video, don't do this video, please don't do it. And I'm like, okay, give me a second, I just gotta go cry, I just gotta wipe my tears, I'll be back upstairs, did the video in like 10 minutes. And posted it, and Shane, this is why he's my favorite, bless his heart, he stuck by me through my crazy ass. He's just like, I'm gonna be Team Trish, even though I don't agree with you, I'm gonna be Team Trish, but thank you, that's a true friend. Then we had Roger Bart, then we had Sean Vanderwilt is a cheater. Like 10 videos.
Yeah, we stopped talking 3 times.
I gave him 0% of that ad revenue. No money for Sean. Are we wrapping it up? What? Alright, we have a special guest. I'm gonna answer your question real quick because then we have, the other people, whatever. How to get over a breakup when you think that they were the one? Make a video about it! Who's to say who's right? Everyone knows I'm not right when it comes to breakup videos. I'm gonna do an apology video to all my ex-boyfriends that I exposed. But then again, a lot of them deserved it. Like, don't cheat. You know what I mean? Don't lie.
Remember, they deserve it, but not her. Not her, who has admitted multiple times now to physically assaulting those around her.
2 New Year's Eve ago, I had a boyfriend. And I've never done this. I've never physically like assaulted a boyfriend or anything like that. And on New Year's Eve, it was like a movie. I threw a drink on somebody, and I've never been like physical. I've never thrown stuff at anybody. And my boyfriend, I remember him coming over. Like, it was at my house. I had a huge house, and I was throwing this huge New Year's Eve party, and it was partly his idea and a lot of his friends. Yeah. And so I was throwing this huge New Year's Eve party, and like the DJ announces like, okay, we have like 5 minutes to New Year's. So he comes over to be by me because I make it a big deal. Like, I love New Year's. I love New Year's Eve kisses. Like, I think like I love it. Even though if we don't have to do anything big, I still have to just make with someone. Anyways, so he comes over. Then my hairstylist at the time was a huge fan of him, so he's like, oh my god, can we take a picture? And the camera wasn't working, the lighting was off, so we kept like retaking it. So now we're like a minute away from midnight.
Clock's ticking down.
And like my friend is like trying to get this picture with him, and I'm like, oh my god, like the kiss is coming. Anyways, I was like, oh my god, I don't want to miss the midnight, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 kiss. And so I'm like, okay, let's speed this up, let's speed it up, whatever. And then it comes around, and then another person comes over and asks for a picture. He's not like that famous, we're probably at parties, probably the most famous person. So then asked for a picture, and I was like, oh my god, we're like 20 seconds away. Right. Then this girl comes in, a picture of like me, my friend, this other person, and then she comes like in the background to be in this picture or whatever. I don't even know who she was. She comes in the picture, takes a picture. And they're counting down like as we're taking the picture. She grabs him and kisses him on the mouth. Whoa. And like, because I was a little drunk and like I didn't really see the whole thing, I just turned around and I remember like seeing him kiss this girl, and I was like, it's like a huge deal to me. Like, we were only dating maybe like 2 months before, but it was still like a really big deal to me. And I threw this party. No, he's sober. He's like AA sober. So he wasn't drunk at all. And he's a lot older too, so like obviously he's not like, just like some young punk or whatever. But and I was like so mad. I was like, babe, we're shaking the tripod. And then and then I was like so mad, like I couldn't even believe it, and I just like threw my drink in his face because he was like trying to calm me down, and I like literally was like, stay away from me, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to like throw a glass at him, so I was like, I'll just throw this drink in his face. I've never done that before, but it felt cool. It felt like a movie.
Multiple times, to multiple men, including her current husband.
Put a finger down, toxic relationship edition. Put a finger down if they wouldn't let you hang out with the opposite sex. Put a finger down if they wouldn't let you like certain people's photos. Put a finger down if they got mad if you didn't respond in 5 minutes. Put a finger down if they ever got physical or threw something at you. Put a finger down if they ever forced you sexually. Put a finger down if you got to keep your location services on. Put a finger down if they threatened to kill themselves if you tried to break up with them. Put a finger down if they've called you names. Put a finger down if they called you overly sensitive, but really they were just being mean. And lastly, put a finger down if they ruined your life.
And remember, she herself has never broken up with a single boyfriend. They all themselves have had to remove themselves from her life.
That's why I can't do the breakup thing. I cannot break up with somebody. I can't, because like, once I love you, and I want to be in your life. Like, it's, every breakup I've had has been a forced breakup, meaning either they cheated, or they left, or I did an exposed video on them, and they're just like, bye, peace, we're never talking again.
She paints it like she's been harmed by all of these men, but the truth is that when she actually addresses these relationships in private, she admits she herself was mistreating them.
I just said to my ex-boyfriend was very, very sweet to me. Like I said, we didn't date so long term, but we were exclusively dating. We talked about that in the video. He was very sweet. You know, it made me happy. I was like, oh my God, someone who still cares about me. And we were both jerks to each other. And that's the best closure you can have after a breakup. And when you can both say, like, I'm sorry. I was a jerk. That was awful.
But Trisha has made it clear that she doesn't want to change, and wants someone to love her in spite of her toxic behavior.
If someone doesn't want to change, they're not going to, and I don't think I'm going to. Because I don't think I want to. And if that means being alone, then that's what it means, you know? But I like who I am. That's the problem. Like, I like who I am, and I like my morals, and I like my energy, and I like what I like, and I just don't want to change it. But I just want someone to, like, love me and see through it and see past it, and I just...
Not only does Trisha never want to change, and still hasn't, but she wants those around her to live in that harm with her.
But that's also, I mean, you do.
This is the only place I'm talking about this, by the way. I'm not talking about this ever again. Just here.
If we're actually having a real conversation, though, I mean, you do know, like,
yes,
you deserve someone who loves you as much as you love them to be...
I don't know. I don't know that because I've never had that.
Right.
Like, am I deserving of that? No, maybe I'm not.
I mean, you are.
Why? I'm a bad person. I expose people. I talk shit about people. Like, I don't know if I'm deserving of someone to love me. You know what I mean? But, back on that. I get why some people like the psychological abuse, right? Why do people stay in mentally abusive relationships? There's a comfort to it. This is getting, like, dark or whatever, but even for me, there's a comfort when I'm in a relationship and fighting, which is awful, and it's something I need to break because nobody wants to fight in a relationship. It's actually awful, but there's comfort in that because I grew up in chaos, and not to say my childhood was awful, but I grew up in chaos, so there's comfort in chaos. When things are, like, normal and good, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. You guys know me. When I'm freaking, like, intense, I get intense about something. When I get, like, obsessed sounds so creepy and weird. If I get, like, I guess obsessed, addicted, like, you guys know I'm someone that's like, I need all of you. I need you right now. I'm just that. I've always been that person, and that's never been a good thing in any of my relationships or anything. So you think I would learn, but also whatever.
And she seems to think that's absolutely okay.
I was, like, secretly recording you.
Are you kidding me?
You remember when I secretly recorded you to tell you I was getting married and you were, like, so pissed that I was, like, secretly recording you?
Yeah, why do you do that to me?
Because it's you.
She's so rude.
He's a little bit of a pushover sometimes when it comes to me, I feel. Look, I'm reading a book called Codependent No More, and I know that I gotta stop controlling people, but you're kind of fun because you're easy to control.
She's so rude.
But I feel like if you lined up every guy that's been in my life, they'd all have the exact same experience with me. Like, Trisha's too controlling, she's insecure, like, she, like, all that stuff. I feel like...
when I met Jason the one time when we did the video, we could literally answer each other's sentences with what Trisha was saying.
Literally. And then even, like, this other guy I started, like, seeing, like, he started saying the same stuff that everyone's been saying, like, all my exes, and I'm just like, I'm a different person, I'll tell you later, but he started saying the same thing.
She'll tell me later off
He's
camera.
like, you gotta just not be so intense, like, everything has to be now, and, like, I'm like, oh my god, like, literally, it's just, like, a weird pattern I have, and he's like, I kept talking about marriage.
You get bored really freaking easy, and I would tell you, why do you get bored so easy? Everything's fine. If someone's with you, they're with you anyway.
He's a Leo.
We're not going down the same damn road again.
He's a Leo. Is that good or bad?
Well, Trisha's Taurus with Aquarius moon and Cancer rising, so, yeah, Leo's opposite of you. It's opposite of your emotions, because our emotions are like this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do that. I like this. I like this. I don't like you. I like that. What, you're mad at me. Oh my god, I love you. I love you. Oh my god, let's have sex. A lot of sex. A lot of sex.
Although in a moment of clarity, Trisha admitted she was wrong for mishandling her power and using her channel to harass others.
I don't want to be that dramatic, problematic person on YouTube anymore. Just because I'm hurt doesn't mean I need to abuse power and put it out for the world.
Although of course, she's now gone back on that and thinks it's completely acceptable again. In spite of her having that revelation. Because why would she change when she doesn't have to? Why change when she can keep getting away with everything? If there's no consequences to her actions, why would she change them?
I feel really bad. I'm not like an amazing human being, but I have a very guilty conscience. Like, if I do something wrong to someone, I feel bad for life. Truly. Even if, like, it's justified or I'm not completely in the wrong or whatever, if I did something bad that fucked someone up, I feel horrible. I'm, like, rewatching the podcast I did with Sean, my ex-boyfriend, Sean Vanderbilt. And I break down because of how awful I felt like I treated him. And, like, stuff that I did and said and stuff like that. Like, I hold on to guilt. Like a mother effer.
She claims she holds on to guilt in spite of her not changing, but that's not true. Because even after admitting here that she was the one that treated her ex Sean horribly, she continues to paint him as a bad person to this day. When she knows that he wasn't and knows that she was the one who mistreated him. And the truth is she does that because she knows she can get away with it. And she never truly feels bad. And when she does express remorse and guilt, it seems to be immediately after doing something to a boyfriend to see if they'll believe her manipulation to stick around for more harm. She even praises Moses for sticking with her when nobody else would. Acting as if those that fled her to protect themselves didn't love her enough and that's why they couldn't last.
I'm so happy in this relationship, it scares me. I've never had someone love me, ever. Never. Every relationship you've seen, you haven't seen, I've never had someone that loves me. Truly, they couldn't care less. As soon as we broke it up, never checking on me, couldn't care less. When I've, like, sobbed and begged them to talk to me, like, couldn't care less. Again, it's fair, I respect it. But Moses loves me so much and tries so hard for me. Yeah, I'm really, like, emotional. He does so much, and a lot of people like that's not a reason to, like, love somebody, but that is a huge reason for me. A sense of security.
Moses, who himself has admitted on multiple occasions now just how toxic she is.
No, you were like,
what?
You were, there was one point, I just remember so specifically where, like, I don't want to date you, and I was like, why? But why? And you're like, that's why people date, so they realize that they don't want to date. And you told me you didn't want to date me because I didn't have control over myself or something.
Well, the beginning was so crazy that for me it felt like there was no way for us to move forward. Like, it was just so crazy.
What was so crazy?
Your behavior.
You're like, you can't control yourself, and now I see it, and I was like, couldn't control myself how?
Showing up to my place. Like I had work. I have work, different projects, different things, and my whole life is that stability of having that work. And then suddenly there's this, like, element in my life that is uncontrollable, and I couldn't have that.
So I'm still uncontrollable.
No, we're very different. You're a different person now.
No, you think
Yes.
you think I'm under control?
No, you're a different person now. You're
I
not
feel like
under anyone's
I feel like
control.
I still mess up your life being uncontrollable.
She blames her BPD for this, and says that you need to change your behavior, but remember she has no interest in changing hers.
It's changed my life dramatically, not worrying about something that hasn't happened yet. Potential fights, potential this and that. Like I'm a little bit anxious now, but like I think it's the right amount. And my phone went off. I think it's the right amount of anxiousness. I was anxious all weekend, which made me, you know, feel my episode. I mean, there's no excuse, but I think a lot of people, I see a lot now of borderline people that know about borderline, BPT therapists, whatever, will explain the behavior. They're not excusing it. And it's not a free pass in life to just, you know, go off on people. Oh, well, I'm borderline, there's this episode. No, you have to manage it and control it to a certain degree. Otherwise, people just won't want to be around you. And that's the ultimate push away from a borderline person. It's why my relationships haven't succeeded in the past.
And, again, why would she have to, if she's constantly getting away with it?
It's such a cool feeling. Like, just imagine, like, you going to get McDonald's makes somebody happy. Like, it's such a cool feeling. Because I always feel like I've hurt so many people online, and like it really does eat at me. I feel like so much guilt about it. And so like it feels cool to like make someone feel good and not have like always feeling like I make everything horrible and I've ruined people's lives and stuff like that. Like it's I like live with that guilt, and that guilt hangs on. But
again, she admits that she hurt people and feels guilty for it, but does nothing to clear their names or rectify it. She still has people believing that all of her exes harmed her when she knows they haven't.